There are new developments in the investigation of that hot air balloon crash south of Austin that killed 16 people. Federal investigators say the balloon made contact with high-tension power lines at several points after it began its descent. Investigators are finishing up their on-site investigation, held their last briefing this afternoon. Fox 4's Natalie Solis here in studio with the latest on both the investigation and the victims. Natalie.
Well, Steve, collecting information on site is winding down, as you mentioned, with the gondola and balloon being sent to Dallas for storage. But investigators say this investigation is just beginning, and so they're reluctant to speculate about why that balloon made contact with the power lines.
A very preliminary on-site examination reveals no evidence of pre-existing failures, malfunctions, or problems.
Federal investigators eliminating possible causes of what led to a deadly hot air balloon crash outside of Austin Saturday morning, when the balloon made contact with high-tension power lines as it carried 16 people, including the pilot.
There's evidence of multiple points of contact. There's evidence of arcing along the wires. And for about 30 feet along the wires, there was evidence of abrasion.
Court records show the pilot, 49-year-old Alfred Skip Nichols, was convicted of drunk driving at least 4 times in Missouri and spent time in prison twice since 1990. In 2013, Nichols settled a personal injury lawsuit by a passenger injured in a hard landing outside St. Louis. NTSB investigators say Nichols got a weather briefing the night before the crash, and his crew reported patchy fog the next morning. But so far unclear if weather or pilot error played a role in the crash.
And at this point, I'm sorry to say that we do not.
NTSB investigators near Austin recovered 14 personal electronic devices, including cell phones, an iPad, and 3 cameras, which will be sent to a lab for analysis.
She was a social media butterfly. Everything was on Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. So when I didn't hear from her, I thought it was strange.
Friends and family have identified several of those killed, including newlyweds Sunday and Matt Rowan of San Antonio. Sunday's mom says she got a terrible feeling when communication that morning suddenly stopped.
Pretty much at that time, to be frank, I knew something was terribly wrong.
Joe and Teresa Owens of Katy also among the dead. Teresa worked for 20 years caring for infants at Tigerland Child Care Center in Katy near Houston.
She knew what she was doing. She knew how to make things work. She was great with the parents, as you would see when they came in this morning, very upset and crying.
They say 50-year-old Holly Smith Huckabee, Teresa's good friend and fellow teacher at the center, also aboard the doomed balloon.
We're here to find out what happened so we can keep it from happening again.
Well, as far as the pilot's criminal history is concerned, the NTSB spokesman who you saw there was pressed about that earlier today. He said to his knowledge, there are no requirements for a balloon pilot to report criminal background to the FAA. He said the NTSB had recommended that balloon pilots at least be required to get a medical certificate every 6 months like other pilots, but the FAA declined to implement that recommendation. Steve?
Natalie Solis, thank you.